If you're like me, you bought and played Fall Guys a couple of weeks after release because it exploded in popularity online. You may have even made a video on it, but we all know what happened afterwards. Thanks in part to a certain sus game, literally not even 2 months after its release, it faded away as fast as it grew. But now that a year has passed, is it worth playing again? Or possibly even buying for the first time? That's what I wanted to find out. Just a quick note before we begin. I won't be going over every new stage or mode they've added, as I don't have the time to do so unfortunately, but I'll go over the ones that I played, and to give you more of a reason to check it out yourself if you want to. You may also want to watch my previous video here if you've never played the game yourself and want more context. As soon as I boot up the game, Steam users are apparently not trusted to make usernames, so from now on only refer to me as Epic Snoring Blob. It's not even that far off me, to be honest. The UI is very similar, no major changes besides a few timed events such as this Ratchet and Clank collab. The item shop and cosmetics are, yeah, nobody really cares, do they? Well, besides the devs of course. Now on to some of the new maps, starting off with Penguin Pool Party, which is pretty similar to the Tagtail stage in the base game, where you have to keep a hold of a penguin by grabbing it for as long as possible. The longest 12 get to go to the next match. I do think this is a pretty decent stage, although unless you grab a penguin right at the start, you're just going to get frustrated really quickly. Next up is Treetop Tumble. I really like this stage, it is a lot more chaotic than some of the other stages, yet if you pull off every jump and dive, it's really satisfying. There's a good variety of obstacles, like the frogs, trampolines, slides, etc., to stop you from getting too comfortable. It's very fast paced as well. After that there's the like button, just see if you're still awake, I mean Slime Scraper. It's fairly reminiscent of the Slime Climb stage from the base game. I'm not the biggest fan of these stages as it's far too easy to lose all your progress in one mistake, but after you get used to it, it's okay. There's a good variety of obstacles and surface types to keep you engaged, and the neon theme is a nice change from the base game's simple colour palette. Now Hoverboard Heroes. Here you stand on a boat thingy and avoid moving obstacles. This one is kinda hard, like I'm not that good at the game anyway, but having multiple moving bars on a moving platform, then random objects thrown at you, then more moving bars and sliding slopes for only half the level, like bruh. It's not that it's a bad stage, but I don't really like it that much. Maybe I'll like it more the more I play it though. Snowball Survival next. I really don't see the point of this one. Maybe I played it earlier on so it wasn't as hard or something, but it was oddly easy, as you can only fall through like a quarter of the stage. Even then half the time is gone, and the only obstacle being these two snowballs. As long as you're paying attention, I don't see how you could lose really. Lost Temple was quite a surprise when playing for the first time. It's basically DoorDash, but for the last 12 players, and has way more doors. There's a good variety of obstacles and fake doors to challenge you. The only complaint I have is that you don't need to put much effort in until the last door, as up until the last door you can just stay behind and let everyone else do the work, then find the last door and win. So I would like to see a way to keep me on edge for the whole stage, not just the final few seconds. So if we go here, you'll see several new modes. The first three are different types of the base game, so essentially single player, 2-player and 4-player team modes, with either your friends, if you're lucky enough to have them, or with random people online. The last mode I'm assuming changes every week to give you a reason to keep playing, and it's one stage that you play up to 3 times, depending on if you make the top 12, as opposed to multiple stages. This stage was called Bubble Trouble Trials, where you have to pop as many bubbles as possible. There's not that many obstacles in the way to stop you, but that's balanced out by the professional Fall Guys players that swipe them up in milliseconds, so there's still a decent amount of challenge, especially at the final round. I did enjoy this mode a fair bit. So that's the video. There's one more mode that I wanted to comment on, which is the custom server mode, but I have no one else to play it with, so I can't try that. But I do feel like that if you have a LAN party with 4 or more people who not only have a copy of the game, but also have 4 separate PS4s or PCs to play with, then this could be a significant reason to replay Fall Guys. But as it stands, if you already own the game, then I would say it's definitely worth replaying it, as they've added new modes and a good number of new stages to play. But if you're thinking of buying the game for the first time, it's a harder sell, as there's not any radically different modes or stages that would attract a new audience. Basically, if you weren't interested in Fall Guys the first time, you probably won't this time either. And with that said, guys, come on, I didn't vent, it was